my name is Chloe Megan, and welcome to the Balance is Better programme. So, I'm a third year sports science student on my placement with Rowing Ireland at the moment, and I've been working with Claire Lamb on this Balance is Better programme. So, basically, it's an 8-week programme. The programme is focused around building up strength, fluidity, and control of movement through balance exercises, stability, and mobility exercises as well. So really good for those beginners starting out and really anyone who wants to improve their body strength and balance. So all exercises can be done really easily from home as well. The only thing you might need is a physio ball, small loop band, and a long band. It is recommended for most exercises, but if you can't get these, then there are alternatives that I'll discuss as well. And program philosophy is appropriate challenge. So setting your own goals and targets. So really just focusing on yourself, on your own goals, rather than what others can do around you. So work to your own level, set those goals, stick to them. And also creating that fun social approach. So if you can, try and organize that you might do this workout with your friends over Zoom. I know we're all really craving that social interaction at the moment, so this might be a good opportunity to do something like that. The really main thing as well is building inner strength for outer confidence. So all about strong bodies and strong minds. So the program can be incorporated into your current training regime. Lots of you will have your own circuits already, but this might be a good adjunct to it. And practicing the Balance is Better session 2 or 3 times a week as well is recommended just to get that maximum benefit out of it. So, like your physio exercises that you normally do at home, obviously to see the maximum results, you're going to have to practice them. So there's a really wide variety of exercises within this program, targeting many different areas of your body. So really good whole body workout. Which includes regressions and progressions for each exercise. So it's really suitable for a lot of levels, and you can pick which level that you're at. So just making sure to push yourself, but not do anything that's really uncomfortable for you. So set your own goals and use this Balance is Better program to help achieve your goals. Challenge yourself and what can you achieve with this Balance is Better program? What do you want to achieve by the end of this 8 weeks? So thanks a million for listening. I hope you'll be inspired to set your own goals, and I hope you will enjoy the workout. And also just a note to point out, never push yourself if you really feel any major discomfort or anything that feels out of the ordinary. No point pushing beyond your comfort. And if you have any injuries or underlying medical conditions, it's a good idea to seek approval from your doctor before doing this workout. So with that warning, and thanks for listening to all that, let's get straight into the workout. Right, so first off, I'll get rid of this balance ball. We have, sorry, just scared my dog there. We have a warm up. So that's going to be running on the spot, jumping jacks, deep squats, and inchworms. So you've probably done most of these before. So running on the spot, just terrified my dog. So running on the spot, knees high, pumping those arms as well. Up straight, chest out, and straight into jumping jacks, tapping those hands at the top, hands out, legs out at the same time, and straight back into running on the spot, knees high, pumping those arms up at the same time. Don't forget to breathe, and jumping jacks, nice and quick. Breathing out on the way up. And jumping jacks. And then we're going to be going straight into inchworm. Right, okay, inchworm. So you might need to straighten up your mat a bit. Okay, so up straight, shoulders back, chest high. And we're gonna bend forward from the hips, having those hands against the legs, slight bend in the knee, feeling that stretch through the hamstrings. And we're gonna take baby steps out to full plank position. Nice strong position here, not collapsing with the shoulder blades. Nice and engaged, core tight, glutes tight, and rotate following your gaze up and back down. Rotate other side and back down. And baby steps again. Now that we know the exercise, rolling slowly up, we can increase the tempo a bit. So baby steps, rotate, and other side, and baby steps back up. But do be quite slow on the roll back up. Really getting that full range of motion at the top, like each. And baby steps. Breathe out on your rotation. Do 2 more here. Baby steps, using that core to peel back up. And baby steps. Feeling that nice stretch through the hamstrings. I love that. Really need it at the moment. It's great for if you're doing a lot of running, feeling that hamstring stretch, or rowing. And up straight at the top. Now we're going to do some deep squatting or body weight squatting to the level of your choice. So going to have your feet hip width apart, toes pointed outward, or toes pointed front ways, or slightly outturned. I'm going to have mine as straight as possible. And we're going to sit back into our squat and back up. Sit back and back up. Actually, having your hands out straight helps with this sitting back movement. Just making sure to have those shoulders away from the ears, not crouching up. And with this, you really want to pull your pelvis into your spine, pull your belly button into your spine, and really engage those glutes. Also important not to have your knees going over your toes at this point when you're bending down. So really sitting back into it, keeping your chest high, not collapsing in its back. Go for another 3, driving the hips at the top. 2, breathe out, and 1. Do another few there, but I'm just going to go into this wide squat stretch. So you're going to squat all the way down, really deep, and into this kind of crouching position. And you're just going to push those knees out and kind of pulse here. You can move around a bit, see where it's really tight, where it needs to be stretched. Just a good one to start off with, and kind of keep pulsing around, keep moving. I find having my hands like this in a prayer position, I suppose, really helps me to push the knees out and back up. Just stretching up here, stretching those lats we need to, breathing out. And okay, I think we're ready. I'm all warmed up anyway. So first set is the activation set. So we're going to be doing the scapular dips. You might have done them for your push-ups before. We're going to be doing them in 4-point kneeling. Wall angels, or sorry, clamshells, then wall angels, and then a pattern posture pose, which is sitting on your physio ball. So 4 exercises, we're just going to be doing 1 set. So really trying to get the quality of these movements because we're only doing them once. Okay, so straight into it. 4-point kneeling, that means your hands under your shoulders and knees under hips, back nice and flat. So with this one, you're going to be just retracting and protracting your shoulder blades. So what that means is really just feeling those shoulder blades come together and apart. Just the shoulder blades, so not the whole back, keeping that core engaged, keeping all the other part of the back flat and still. Just moving that upper back shoulder blade region. Really feeling them squeeze together and pull apart across the rib cage. Together and apart. And avoid that tendency to bring those shoulders up. Shoulders nice down away from the ears. You can also just flex your toes up here and float your knees up about 1-2 centimeters off the ground. Same movement, an extra challenge, but really just focus on that movement. No need to progress if you find this enough. Really pulling that belly button in towards the spine. Okay, just do another 3 there, and we'll move on to the clamshells. So this one is a great one for firing up your glute med muscles, which are really important for stabilizing your pelvis. So it's a great one for that stability. And we all need stronger glute muscles in rowing because they're one of the main muscles used. So first off, we're just going to have our legs flat on the ground, hip stacked, shoulder stacked, and have your hips actually kind of slightly forward, not too much, but we have that tendency to roll back. So knees slightly bent. We're just going to lift that knee up, top knee up, rotating back. So keeping those heels together all the time, up and down, really using that glute, engaging those lower abdominals. This is also really good for that stability in the pelvic floor, lower abdominal muscles if we're doing the exercise correctly. Those shoulders in that neutral position as well, not curving in. Okay, and now we're just gonna move into knee up, foot down, knee down. Knee up, foot down, knee down. So this is really working on your control for this exercise. Foot up, foot down, knee down. So this is a really good exercise progression. We're just going to do about 5 more here. Then we'll progress on to foot up. So this one, just really careful to keep your knee in the same place when we're returning our foot to the floor. So that's the challenge here. So keeping that knee up and then returning it back down. Okay, and now we're going to move to feet up. So feet should just be about 2-3 inches off the ground, not too much, because their hip will roll forward then. And just up as far as you can control. You can see I'm not moving very far. Hopefully I'll be better after 8 weeks. So these are really good ones to practice as well before every session, or even just as a session by themselves. They're really good activation exercises. Good for getting those glutes going and fired up. Okay, and I'm going to move to the other side. Okay, the same thing. Hip stacked, shoulder stacked. Oh, and feet on the ground first, excuse me. Really make sure you're keeping those feet together all the time. Sorry, earbud fell out. Core engaged. And we're going to move into, just my band, the knee up, foot down, knee down. So with this one again, keeping that knee up when you're returning your heel back down. That's the real challenge here. Trying to keep it in that same position. Knee up, foot down, knee down. These are like box clams, they're called. So you imagine just forming a box shape. Knees and heels should be at level. Don't forget to breathe, keeping that core in. It's really good control movement, and try not to be too sudden. Nice and controlled. Well done. And now we're going to move up to our feet off the ground, just an inch or two. Just within our own range of motion, without the hips rolling back. And shoulders back a bit, nice and neutral, punching in. Shoulders away from the ears, gazing just kind of in front of you. Okay, so if you feel like your glutes are fired up enough, I know I do, stop that exercise. And what one is it now? Oh, so wall angels. Sure, if you're familiar with this and so you can leave the band on if you want. Right, so you're just going to squat down against the wall and trying to keep your back flush with the wall, head flush with the wall. Your ponytail may hinder you a bit with this, so you might need to adjust it. And yeah, so have your legs at 90 degrees if you can. If you feel this is too much, you can just stand. But main thing, you're keeping your upper back flush, wrists and arms flush, have them at 90 degrees and creep up along the wall. Don't knock any pictures. You can get a nice clear space of wall, it's even better. So only moving up as far as you can without your back or arms coming off the wall. Really challenge yourself here. Might feel uncomfortable for a lot of you, especially if you're studying a lot or working at a desk. It's a great one for those upper back muscles, great for your posture, great chest opener. So yeah, definitely challenges me. And keeping those knees out, you have the band on. Don't forget to breathe. And alternatively, you can just be standing during this same exercise. Can't really demonstrate well here because of the plants, or sorry, the pictures, but yeah, you get it. You can just stand up against the wall. So that's a really good one as well for your upper back and posture. So once you're done there, we will move into the pattern posture exercise. So here, you're just going to be sitting on your balance ball if you have one. If not, a chair will do fine. In fact, the chair is easier. So if you feel this is too difficult, then do just move back onto a chair, which is more stable surface. So this one, standing, feet flat on the ground, about hip width apart to start off with. Imagine there's something pulling up your head so you're really straight. Now, so I want you just to slump with your shoulders to start with. You don't want this. You don't want to be slumping with your shoulders or have that feedback. I'm sure a lot of us will be sitting like this at our desk, but it's not good. So you just want to be sitting up and sitting up on those sit bones, like a lot of those Pilates we did talk about. So you want to imagine that your butt is like at the back of the chair rather than at the front, like it will be if you're slouching. So butt kind of tucked away to the back. You're making that lower back nice and long without hyperextending. So no need to really curve that lower back, just extending it so that it's nice and long and your lower abdominals are really tucked in. Sitting up on sit bones. And shoulders, no need to have them really pushed back. Some people think this is better, but it can just put a real strain on you if it's not natural at all. So you're just trying to find that neutral position. Shoulders shouldn't be slumped forward, but just kind of in their neutral position. So just find that for you, not super back, not super forward, a balance. Right, so establishing your neutral position. Everyone's neutral position will look a little bit different. And we're going to hold our arms out in front, straight out, and we're going to do that rock over movement like in the boat. And the challenge here is to really engage your core and rock over from the hips. Breathe out as you lean back. So this is exactly like the boat movement. And here we're really trying to keep that exercise ball from wobbling. So if you're doing this exercise right, you should really feel it in your lower abdominals, because that's what you're really engaging here. That's what's going to control you, control your movement. And again, another challenge here, an extra challenge, I mean, is narrowing that base of support. So you're going to bring your feet together and do that same exercise here. Keeping that nice strong core. And regression, making it easier, just make that stance a bit wider, widening your base of support. So always you have a wider base of support, the exercise is going to be easier. Right, so that's that one. I hope you've established your neutral posture and your correct positioning, and you got those lower abdominals fired up a bit. So that's it for activation. Now we're going to move into our core sets. So we're going to be doing 3 core sets, which includes physio ball crunches and dead bugs. So just after getting rid of my physio ball, I'll get it back now. So I'm going to roll onto your physio ball, stepping out, hands behind your head, nice and wide, and your hips should be at about a 10 o'clock position. Head should be level with the rest of your body, not way down here, even though that can be a nice stretch. And keeping those arms and shoulders nice and wide and supporting your head. So you're just gonna tuck your chin into your chest here and roll slowly up. See, you can hear my voice shaking there. So just a sign that the core is working. So roll up till you feel that shake. Hold for about 5 seconds and slowly back down. Feel that stretch. And again, rolling up
till your upper back
is off the ball. Breathe out here and back down. Breathe in and out at the top. Feeling that shake and returning back down. And each time you can try and get a little bit higher off the ball, challenge yourself without compromising your form. So really keeping those elbows wide, not crunching in, nice open chest, and back down. Go at your own pace here. Just gonna do another 2. Or maybe just another 1. And back down. Okay, good work. And now we're gonna move into dead bugs. So dead bugs. Sorry, making sure my exercise ball stays there. So Nice neutral back. So your lower back should be flush with the mat, ribs tucked in, and core engaged. We're going to float those knees up to 90 degrees to tabletop position and bringing those hands up, shoulders away from the ears. We're going to extend right arm, left leg, and return. Left arm, right leg, and return. And all the time, just keeping that control, my slow control movement. See how my leg that isn't extending is staying in that 90-degree position. That's the challenge here. So while the other leg is moving, the other one is staying in its position. There can be a tendency to kind of do this kind of movement, but fight that and keep in control. Also, just moving your leg as far as you can. So here you can actually just extend up and back, just kind of straightening that leg if you find the lowering too challenging. Same thing goes with the arm, only as low as you can go. Another regression is just to move either the legs, keeping the arms upward, or moving just the arms. And if you're just moving the legs, make sure to keep those arms up, but keep those shoulders on the ground, shoulders away from the ears. So keeping that nice open chest all the time. No strain there. So let's do a few more of these and then back into our ball crunches. Okay, well done. Yeah, physio ball crunches. So we'll increase the tempo a bit for this set since we're used to the exercise. So same position, tend to do 2 or 10 o'clock position with your hips and crunching off. Nice and wide elbows, keeping that open chest. Breathing out at the top. Trying to keep those knees still on the ground. Really controlling that movement again. So I did say increase the tempo, but not so much that you're doing a really fast crunch. It is all about control, especially on the way back down. And holding for just a second at the top. 2, 1, job, and back to dead bug. So this will be our second set, and we have one more set to go in this core round. Opposite arm, opposite leg. You know, the regressions as well. You can move just your legs or arms, but just keeping that back flat on the ground, core engaged. So it shouldn't be extending up the back like this. Trying to keep that flat back to avoid any strains. And breathing out as you extend your arms and legs. Nice and controlled. Ribs tucked in as well. Extending through the ankle, so pointing the ankle rather than the toes. That's that full extension. Shoulders away from the ears. Okay, good job. So that's the end of the second set. And back into physio ball crunches. Last core set, good job. Okay, so back onto the physio ball. And right, ready and go. So feet in train tracks again, hip width apart. Hips at that 10 to 2 position. Or, oh my God, hips at that 10 o'clock position. And this is a really nice one as well because it does stretch out your spine. Really good one. And again, really careful to tuck that chin up or chin into your chest on the way up just to avoid any neck strain. And nice, slow, controlled movements. This really builds up your core endurance, which everyone needs for rowing. The more core endurance we have, less likely we are to injure our back because we're using those core muscles to keep us up straight. 2 and 1 and hold here. Last set up, inch or 2 higher if you can. Well done, and all the way back down. Good job. Last exercise in the core series, dead bugs again. Okay, push yourself in terms of quality of movement. So same drill, opposite arm, opposite leg, ready, go. Keeping that chest nice and wide, shoulders away from the ears, shoulders on the ground. Pausing just for a second at that full extension. Really challenge yourself, challenge your control. Take a breather if you need to. Okay, just a few more here. Okay, good job. You should feel that burn in your core quite a bit. So that's really important just to get us going for all the exercises that are to follow. Okay, so now we're going to be going into the leg series. So that consists of crab walk and calf raises. Excuse me. So crab walks, first of all, you can do this without the band. So without the band, preferably you're going to be in your full deep squat position, chest up and stepping out to the side, baby steps, and keeping nice and low. If you have your band, I'm going to put that on here. You can just go into your quarter squat position. So adding the band really adds that challenge in that you're trying to drive those knees out instead of clapping in. Okay, so quarter squat position, sitting back into it. And you're going to take those baby steps to the side and to the other side. And really just keeping that same height here. So not bobbing up and down. Keep it going, well done. Like, you can't really see my feet properly. You can just keep your feet pointed straight forward if you can. That really engages the glutes properly, maximally. So you'll get maximum benefit. And really sitting back into it to feel it in your glutes rather than your quads. Don't forget to breathe. Core engaged, sucking that belly button in toward your spine. Keeping that chest out. And we're going to sink a little lower here. And back up. Well done. Now you're going to go into calf raises. So, okay. So this leg series, we're going to do 3 sets. So that's the first exercise. That's the second exercise of the series. So Gonna do this set 3 times. So calf raises, legs or toes pointed forward and up to tippy toes and slowly back down. Up to tippy toes, slowly back down. Shoulders away from the ears, core nice and engaged. Neutral spine, slight bend in the knees as well. Okay, really good. It's a great one for your ankle mobility as well. And if you have a step or really big books that are stable, really good idea to do your calf raises off these because you're getting that full range of motion there, which is probably better than doing them on the ground. But these are also good. Okay, and you're gonna go heels together, toes apart. So you're really getting at every angle here. In your calves, really challenging yourself. A lot of rowers, you have to work on their calf strength. And debatable calf strength mightn't be so the most important muscle for rowing, but it is important for your cross training if you're doing a good bit of running or even walking. Calf strength is important for that stability, so it's a good idea to work it. And we're going to go toes together, heels apart. We're really getting into all those different muscles, different angles in the calves. And nice, slow and controlled movements all the time, especially on the way back down. Pause on the way up. Also at the catch, if you find that your ankle mobility is a problem, this can be a good way to work on it. Okay, well done. Now we're just going to do legs again. Sorry, I think I said 3 sets, but we're just going to stick to 1 more set this time. But we will stay in our crab walk. Okay, so again, quarter squat if you have a band, and those baby steps. Baby steps to the side. Hands can be clasped in front of you like I am doing. And again, making sure those knees are dragging out rather than coming in like this. That's the challenge here. Really challenging those glutes. Challenging your control, your stability. And all the time keeping that core engaged, of course. Keep breathing. Not changing height, so keeping that same angle of flexion with your hips, and keeping those knees bent so you're not changing height. Put yourself another few here. Okay, well done. Now, back to those calf raises. Straight into it. Up, slowly back in. And again, engage those glute muscles here. Don't forget about them. Might as well use them. Feet just shoulder width apart. You can use this as a time to really work on your core strength as well while you're standing. Be mindful of your breathing. Every breath out, suck in that core, belly button spine. Okay, now heels together, toes apart, and up, down, and down. Tight glutes, that length. So Again, really good for your mobility, working those kind of different muscles. I find I'm doing a bit more running during lockdown, or well, kind of one of the only things we can do at the moment. So it's important to work some of these different muscles to avoid any strain. Now, toes together, heels apart, and make sure your glutes are engaged, and we go. This might feel very awkward. It definitely feels awkward for me. Calf muscles are firing up. Own pace, move nice and slowly. Take a rest if you need to. Just do a few more here. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. So that's your leg series, so a bit different. Now we're going to be moving straight into our balance series. So this is maybe the most important series since it's Balance is Better program. So we're going to just do 3 of this series and really challenge ourselves. So starting off with flamingo stand, then sitting single leg balance on the physio ball, and then narrow squat with single leg back kick. So these might be a bit different to your usual exercises. Okay, so yeah, flamingo first. So 3 sets, okay, let's go. Now, gauging those cores, or those glutes, and floating that top, that one leg up. You're gonna crunch that knee in and extend out. Crunch and back out. And all the time, of course, maybe sick of me saying it, but keeping that core engaged, shoulders back, neutral spine, not collapsing into the hips. Don't be lazy. So keep both glutes engaged, especially the standing one, which we can forget about. Don't forget about it. Crunch up. I can really feel this in my quads as well. Good one for that. And change sides, nice and soft landing. And float up. Engage the standing glute. And crunch in. Keeping those shoulders down. If you need to take a break, that's fine. If you find this too challenging on your quads or anything, do just practice a standing single leg balance and hold for a few seconds, and you can return back down. So keeping that balance up best you can. You crunch and extend. I'll just do side view. So glutes engaged, you crunch and extend the leg. You crunch, extend the leg. Crunch, extend, crunch, and extend. Breathing out as your leg extends and pulling in that belly button towards your spine. Okay, first exercise done of the balance set. Now we're going to move into our single leg balance on the physio ball. So this might be slightly less taxing for some of you. So just sitting up, nice neutral position that we did at the start. Shoulders back, not too back, but nice neutral position. Nice long lower back, sitting up on your sit bones. So floating one leg up at a time. Feet should be about shoulder width apart. If this is too challenging, then just float one heel up at a time. And really, again, focusing here, it's quite similar to the pattern posture exercise. You're really engaging your lower abdominals and pelvic floor to keep that stable position and keep the exercise ball from wobbling. So floating up and down. You can bring your hand out in front of you for that extra challenge. And challenge yourself again by moving alternate arms up. And trying to keep stable all the time. This is really about your body awareness. And seeing how you move and are in control of your movements, how your body moves. You can move our hands out to the side as well. So moving one arm up, alternate arms. We can move our opposite arm, opposite leg. Just try all different arm movements here to challenge yourself. Try not to lose balance like me. And keep sitting up on those thick bones. Well done. Up, slowly back in. Up and slowly back in. Okay, well done. That's that one. And now, narrow squat and single leg kickback. So this one, narrow squat, your feet are going to be together, legs together, having that narrow position. So squatting down as if you're sitting into a chair, keeping that chest high, shoulders back. And we're going to kick back up at the top, hinging from the hips and back again. Squatting down, up again, kicking back slowly, not a sudden kick or anything. And kick back. So here you're really using that core stability for the control on the kick back. So this week we're really not going to try and extend very far back at all, just focusing on the quality of movement. And maybe to breathe here. Engage those glutes at the kickback. So making sure not to hyperextend that lower back. Just engaging those glutes. And pushing through the hips on the way back up from your squat. I always think of moving like a pendulum in this. It's really good. Good analogy to think of. Squat, back up. Good practice movement for the single leg deadlift. Okay, and that's it for our balance series. So we're going to repeat that twice more. Okay, so starting again. Take a few deep breaths and okay, straight back into it. Okay, so engage both glutes, up nice and tall, core engaged, ribs tucked in. Float one leg up, crunch and extend. Crunch and extend. And extend. And should be just by your side. Maybe having them out like this might help with your balance a bit, you might find, whatever's comfortable. Either way, shoulders away from the ears, nice wide chest. Ooh, I feel that burn in my quad. Okay, and opposite side. Glutes engaged, and go. I'm not sure why they call this flamingo stand, maybe flamingos. Oh, they do, yeah, flamingos. Stand on one leg. Okay. Knee crunch and extend. Knee crunch and extend. Not forgetting about that core. Push yourself. 3, 2, and 1. Good, and slowly back down. Well done. Now, single leg balance again. So just going to challenge yourself a bit more on this set, make it a bit more dynamic if you can. If not, we're just going to keep it that basic floating up exercise. So dynamic. So we're going to have our hands outstretched straight across, and we're going to move opposite arm, opposite leg, and back down. Arm, opposite leg, and back down. So we're going to move our arms up 2 at a time. If you want more of a challenge, you can add weights to this. Again, sitting up on your sit bones, really feeling that lower core. Nice and controlled, soft landings. Okay, well done. So that again is just a really good posture one, and good for establishing that nice long back. Okay, so now again into narrow squat and leg kick back. Okay, again, this is just a practice movement for the single leg deadlift. Now squat up, hinging from the hips, kick back. Squat up, hinging. Really important to suck that lower tummy in. And breathe. Glutes engaged. Kick back. Do another 2. And 1. We're done. And now, final set of our flamingo pose. So up nice and straight, core tucked in. Okay, floating one knee. You might find that this exercise comes a bit easier now since you're used to the movement. But keeping that awareness, keeping that control of movement, not collapsing into the hip. And don't forget to breathe. Breathe out when your leg is outstretched. Working the core. Okay, opposite side. Conscious of the time. Going to move through this set quite quickly because we still have arms to do. You're not my favorite. Okay. Well done. Okay. Now we're actually just going to go straight into the narrow squat because I think we have established that good posture enough. Okay, so narrow stance again. Sitting back into your imaginary chair, back up and deadlift. Imaginary chair, back up, hinging from the hips, tight core, like a pendulum. Squat, leg back. Again, kick back shouldn't be very sudden, nice and controlled. Your body is moving when your leg is moving, all moving together as one. Driving through the hips, breathing out at the top. Okay, well done. So that's a bit different. That's your balance set. And now we are going to move into our arms. So this is what I find most challenging. You'll see my push-ups. I find quite a struggle, but I'm going to challenge myself. So scaption exercise, then eyes wide P's and W's, and military push-ups is what we're going to do. So we're going to do 2 sets of this as well. You can do 3 sets if you want, but conscious of the time, so we'll stick for 2 sets today. Okay, so scaption exercise, you're going to need this band, long band or a tear band. Ideally, you'll have this. If not, you can just do this without the band. So you have your feet about hip width apart, and hands at about a tentative position, thumbs up. This really makes space in those rotator cuff muscles so you can get a better range of motion. So just bringing those arms up and back down in a nice controlled manner. Bringing them just past shoulder height all the time, keeping those shoulders nice down away from the ears, not crunching up. So we should be really feeling this in our upper back shoulder muscles. Also really good for the serratus anterior. Good for building up those muscles for push-ups, which I really need. Okay, keep those thumbs up, shoulders down. 3, slower on the way back down actually. So should be about a 1 to 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Sure your bands don't come undone. Okay, that's scaption. Then we're going to move into our push-up. Okay, so push-ups. Okay, so shoulders should be under, hands should be under your shoulders, and you can do them from your knees. So I know I said military push-up, but that's a bit too challenging. You can just do your knee push-up, which I might be doing a lot, and just coming down as low as you can. Ideally, if you're not too strong with push-ups, you could have a platform, which would make it easier. You don't have to go down as far, but just going down as far as you can, not losing that form, keeping the back nice and straight, core engaged, and sweeping those elbows back towards your body instead of outwards. So this is really getting into your tricep. Nice slow and controlled movements, just as low as you can. So as you can see, I'm not very strong with push-ups, but of course, do your full push-ups if you can. Another option is to do the forearm push-up. So you're going to be in your full plank position, forearms on the ground, nice flat back, ribs tucked in, belly button towards the spine. And you're going to just bring those hands onto your mat, just below your shoulders and back down. And you're really trying to minimize that sway of the body as much as possible, and just trying to keep that stability as much as you can. So this is good if you're well able for those knee push-ups and want to progress a bit further, but it's just slightly less range of motion than a full push-up. So it is a good regression. I'm just gonna keep going with the knee push-ups for the moment. So hands under your shoulders and keeping those elbows back. Shoulders down away from the ears, keeping that strain away from the neck. Really spreading those shoulder blades apart at the top. To get that full range of motion, really working the muscles here. Okay, good. Good work. Well done. Okay. As you can see, I find the push-ups really challenging. But that would be my challenge for the end of the 8 weeks, to be able to do a decent push-up. So again, caption last time, really focusing on the quality. So thumbs up and go. Again, shoulders away from the ears, core engaged, glutes engaged. Nice, stable position. Whew. Don't forget to breathe. Just moving with the arms. Nice, slow and controlled on the way back down. Whew. This is great for those shoulder muscles. And the serratus anterior, which is just that muscle on the side of the ribs here. Also really good for getting fired up for those push-ups. Okay, good job. And now just a few more push-ups. Challenge yourselves to your level. Another push-up progression would be to do them from the wall. So I have to demonstrate here because there's no sideline wall, but if you're up against a wall, just take about like 2 steps back and you're gonna do that same push-up movement against the wall. So yeah, to make it easier, you're just gonna stand right in against the wall, reduce that the amount your arms have to move, and to make it harder, you go more and more away from the wall. And you're all the time keeping that nice alignment with the whole body. But okay, alternatively, you can do your full push-up or a knee push-up. Okay, so push up whichever way, challenge yourself. And make sure your hands are directly beneath your shoulders. Just about hip width apart again, or just wider. And back. Breathing up at the top. Keep that nice open chest. Shoulders away from the ears. You might actually find with this one as well that you can move down a bit lower as you get more used to the exercise. Because you've been getting your muscles fired up. And really protracting those shoulder blades at the top to get the maximal benefit out of this exercise. Keeping that body aligned, straight line, not dipping with your head, nice and neutral. Okay, so push yourself, take a little breather if you need to. And push yourself just for another 3 reps if you can. All about challenging yourself, as long as you're not feeling any really uncomfortable twinges or unusual discomfort. Okay, so shoulders, hands on the shoulders, and again, lower, 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 as much as you can, and back up, and lower, and back up. Okay, good job, good job, good workout. So that's it for today. That's all of the Balance is Better workout. I hope you got something out of it, felt the burn a bit. I definitely did, especially with the push-ups. So again, this is all about just challenging yourself and setting your own goals. So something you can improve on after this 8 weeks. Set a goal and try to stick to it. I'm just going to stretch out here a bit, stretch our quads, and feeling that stretch across our pecs as well. You can bring both arms to the back, shoulders nice down away from the ears, ribs tucked in here. And breathe into it, breathe into the stretch. And opposite leg. Also a good idea maybe to challenge your friends. So you could pick a challenge like, I don't know, by the end of the week you can do 10 good press ups. Choose your own challenges. You know, everyone's different. What do you need to work on? That's how you're going to get the best benefit out of this program. Just pick one thing, maybe something simple. Okay, crossover arm stretch. Breathe into it. And opposite side. All the time keeping that core engaged, nice neutral spine. And we'll just do the hamstring. So sit into it, leg outstretched, and have your foot up. Do that side so you can see properly. Up and down. And switch sides. Looking just a bit ahead of you. Okay. You can rotate those ankles here. You might need to after those calf raises. Okay, so feel free to do any other stretches you need to, any more physio exercises or anything. Might need to stretch out those hips a good bit. But yeah, that's the end of this workout. So one thing we'll do every week is just set a challenge. So feel free to set your own challenges, but this is just an idea. So flamingo stand. So, you know, we did this during the workout. So it's the kind of funny one you might have seen before. Oh, don't break my table. So you're just crouching that knee up and extending, crouching and extending. And a way to really challenge your balance is to close your eyes with this one. So see how many you can get with your eyes closed. Fun idea as well to challenge your friends with this on Zoom or something and see how far you get and if you can improve within the week. Great, that's something. Okay, so thanks a million for joining the workout. I hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it. See you next week. Thanks a million. Bye.